Hi guys, Sammy George here talking United today. Talking about Ollie's reign so far as a manager really. So, I'm going to start with basically what I think of his tenure so far. I think when he first came in he had a massive bounce and United were fantastic. With Pogba, Rashford, our counter-attacks were brilliant, we were solid. We got some massive wins including Paris away in this kit, which was incredible that night. And I just felt he really brought the feel good factor back to United, and it was absolutely brilliant time to be a Red. Towards the back end of last season, we really struggled, and I thought we were really poor, and I was worried. But I thought we had a good pre-season in terms of our pre-season and in terms of signings and players we sold. And that's part of what I've been impressed with Ollie since he come. These first two transfer windows really. He's managed to let go of players like Rojo, Smalling, Sanchez. There's a number of players that he's let go of. Darmian. There's probably plenty more that I couldn't even think of on the top of my head, but he's let go of a lot of deadwood. And the signings he's made have been superb. Wan-Bissaka, an outstanding young fullback. Really rate him high. Maguire, a natural leader and a warrior at the back for us. And Dan James, a really impressive young player with great pace. So that was his first window, and he like I say, he let go of a lot of dead wood, which was good to see. The start of the season, obviously 4-0 against Chelsea, was brilliant. It was a fantastic start. But sort of slowly but surely, we started to lose a lot of form. And we really sort of, it didn't look like it was going all his way, and I was worried for his job. I think since Bruno's come in particular, and Ighalo, but particularly Bruno, I think he's made a massive difference to the way United are playing with sort of Ollie's style of play now. They're playing out from the back, comfortable on the ball, fast on the counter-attack as well, good movement up front, solid base at the back, solid base in midfield, and, playing with that platform really. Some games we'd play 5 at the back, 2 in front, and play like sort of a 3 up front, all moving, quick rotation and counter-attacks. And some games we'll go with a 4-2-3-1, sort of 4 at the back. Obviously, fullbacks push on where they can, 2 holding midfielders, but then you've got a really fluid front 4. And particularly Bruno really knits that together with his passing ability, his shots from range, and his leadership, the way he presses the ball as well. So I've been really impressed with United since Bruno come. We've shown we can play the 5 at the back and defend deep and play counter, or we can play the progressive football out from the back and beat teams that way as well. So I've been really impressed with that. Like I said, I've been impressed with his signings in the summer, some of the deadwood he's let go. So if you look at all 5 signings so far, you look at Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, James, Ighalo and Bruno, all of them have done really well. Look like they want to be here. Also, I think, he's done really well with the youth. I think Chongi looks good at times. I think Mason's been outstanding. Axel, when he's been fit, has been excellent. And he's been willing to give youngsters a try, which is great to see. And I think that has to happen at United. But yeah, basically, I love Ollie. I think he's a great guy. He's fantastic. He's a fantastic human being, but he's a man manager. You can tell he puts his arm around the players. He wants the best for United. He wants the best for the players, the club, the owners. He wants the best for everything to do with this club. And I know that he wants to bring us back to the top, bring us back winning trophies, 100%, because that's where we belong. We don't belong coming 4th, 5th. We belong winning trophies, and we belong fighting for the Premier League title. And I think that's what he wants to achieve at United. So yeah, when I look at, the rest of this season now, I think they've got a fantastic chance of the top 4 if we can. Our hardest game is really Spurs away coming up, which I think if we're at our best, probably play a 5 at the back. If we compact and play on the break, I fancy us in that game. I think the other 7 games, I think we got a reasonably nice run of games. Sheffield United, Brighton, Bournemouth, West Ham, Saints, Leicester, teams like that really. I think I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's similar to teams like that. So I think basically with our run in, I'd really fancy us to come fourth, potentially even third, but I'd be happy with fourth. That'd be a great season for us in this particular season from how it started. And in terms of the FA Cup and Europa League, if they're played, we're in the quarterfinals of both competitions. I think that's where United come alive in competitions, and Ollie and the players seem to really thrive on the big occasion, because our record against the big teams has been excellent. In the FA Cup, we've got Norwich, so I'd fancy us against them. In the semi-final at Wembley, it's a toss of coin, really. If we avoid City, I'd expect us to beat Leicester or West Ham, I think it is, the other team. I think City are the only one who can really get in the way of us to the FA Cup. And in terms of the Europa League, I think you look at Inter Milan, you look at Wolves. I think they're the two teams really that could give us a problem, but I'd still fancy United to beat them. So I really think there's a really strong possibility we could come out of this season with 2 trophies and 4th place, which would be a fantastic season. And would have to be seen as a big success for Ollie. And I think then we can really push on. I think if we can prove we're good enough for the top 4 this season, and we can get our consistency how it's been since February, and we can go on and win them 2 cups, I think that shows that we're ready to be back. We're ready to compete for the big trophies. I think with Rashford and Pogba coming back as well, that gives us another dimension in terms of skill and quality. Rashi's unbelievable this season. Got 14 goals in 19 games, and since then he's been injured, but unbelievable season. And I think Pogba, no matter what you say about him, is a fantastic footballer. I think if Pogba goes, you replace him. But if he doesn't go, it'd be a good thing. I'm thinking United in the summer. I think if we can bring in Sancho, that's the one that's being touted around a lot. And I think Sancho will happen. I think if Sancho comes in, and I'd say like a Jack Grealish, a creative midfielder, I think we could maybe let Pogba go then. Saying Pogba goes, I think Grealish, Sancho and Sonigalo on a permanent deal, I'd be really happy with that summer. And then next season, you're looking at a team, I reckon, that can compete for sure. If you look at the squad next season, what I reckon we need to do, I reckon you're looking at a starting lineup really of De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw. You're looking at Fred and Matic in midfield with Bruno at 10. You're looking at Rashford on the left, Sancho on the right, and Tony Marshall up front. And that's a team that excites me. That's a team that I think can go and achieve a lot next season and definitely compete for the title with a front 3 like that, with a really solid base and a great keeper as well. And then even players come off the bench. You've got players quality like Mata. You've got Garlo to come off the bench. You've got Grealish, if you sign him, potentially come off the bench, potentially start some games. You've got Eric Bailly, you've got Chukwueze, you've got McTominay, you've got all these different players to come off the bench and impact the team. So I do believe if we make the right signings, especially in them two signs I'm on about in Sancho and Grealish, I think we can definitely be up there pushing Liverpool and City. But obviously the consistency's got to be incredible to compete with them 2 teams because they're so good. So I wouldn't expect United to necessarily do that. But I think if we're at our best and we can consistently perform, there's no reason why we can't. But I'd definitely say we'd be nailed on a top 4 pace with that team and that bench in particular. So I'm really excited to see what happens with Ollie. I'm really excited to see United back competing for trophies. Hopefully winning a couple of trophies this season and coming in the top 4. If we get 4th and 2 trophies, that's brilliant. I think that's a big statement that says Manchester United are back. 2 trophies, top 4, brilliant. The players are going to be really revitalised, absolutely buzzing. And then next season, like I say, with them 2 big signings, I think get rid of Pogba, he doesn't want to be there. And then we can really push next season for sure. And then hopefully we can start being back to the United everyone knows that is competing for Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues. And that's where we belong, and I hope that's what we can do. So I will have another United video tomorrow. I'm going to be putting on a video of my player ratings for this season so far. And also, I'll say who I would sell and who I would keep out of our squad. And also I will be doing more to come in the days to come, in the weeks to come, on other teams, reviews of the seasons in other leagues and manager ratings, etc. I wanted to do a couple of United videos for my couple of best mates that are United fans, and I hope everyone else has enjoyed it. Up the Reds. Thank you.